Close your eyes. Allow the day to fade away like the last embers of a fire. Take in a long, slow breath, and then let it go. Each inhale brings in calmness. Each exhale carries away the weight you no longer need to hold. You are safe here. You are warm, wrapped in comfort. And as you listen, I will take you on a journey to a world of gods and giants, of stars and shadows, of endings and beginnings. Tonight we travel north, far beyond the seas you know. Past the green hills and the rolling rivers, there lies a land of ice and fire, of long winters and bright summer suns. The land of the Norse, the people who told stories of creation and destruction, of fate and renewal. Their stories have drifted across time like snow carried on the wind. Stories whispered beside flickering hearths, stories carried on long ships across storm-tossed seas, stories of Odin, the All-Father, of Thor, the Thunderer, of Loki, the Trickster, and of Ragnarok, the end of all things. But do not be afraid, for even in endings there is peace. Even in destruction, there is quiet renewal. And tonight, as we wander through this myth together, the tale will carry you softly toward rest. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a northern forest. The air is crisp and cool, the breath before your lips turning to silver mist. Above you, the stars glitter sharp and clear, brighter than you have ever seen them. The great sweep of the Milky Way arcs across the sky like the road of the gods themselves. Some say those stars mark the path of Odin's hunters. Others say they are the sparks from the great forge of the dwarves flying into the heavens. The forest is quiet, but not silent. Snow crunches gently beneath your feet. Far in the distance, you hear the faint howl of a wolf, long, mournful, and eternal. It is not a sound of fear, but of nature, vast and untamed. A sound that reminds you of your place in the great weave of life. You walk slowly, feeling safe, guided by the glow of a pale northern moon. The trees, tall and ancient, sway in the soft winter wind. Their branches whisper secrets older than memory. The Norse people once believed that even the trees carried voices, that the greatest tree of all, Yggdrasil, stretched its branches over the entire cosmos, binding together the 9 realms in roots and branches, seen and unseen. And so you begin your journey beneath Yggdrasil's shadow. Your steps fall into rhythm with your breath. The sound of your heart beats gently, steadily like a drum far away. Each beat takes you deeper into calmness, deeper into the dream of the north. Ahead, a fire glows faintly, a hearth flame, burning low but steady. You draw closer and see a circle of stones, and beyond them, the shapes of old wooden halls. The halls of the skalds, the storytellers, men and women who carried the old tales, speaking them aloud so that the past would never be forgotten. You step inside, and the warmth embraces you. The hall is lit by torches, their flames dancing against the timbered beams. Shadows play upon the walls, long and soft, as though the gods themselves listen from beyond. You sit upon a bench covered in furs, sinking into the softness, feeling utterly at ease. Before you, a skald begins to speak. Her voice is steady, calm, and filled with wonder. The fire crackles gently as she tells you, there is a fate woven for all things, The gods themselves cannot turn aside from it. The Norns, the weavers of destiny, sit beneath the roots of Yggdrasil. There they carve runes upon the bark, shaping the past, the present, and the future. And in the runes lies a prophecy of the final twilight, Ragnarok. The skald's voice is neither harsh nor hurried. It flows like a river, slow and certain. Each word is a note in a song that soothes you, carrying you deeper into peace. She speaks of the long winters, of the wolves who chase the sun and the moon. She speaks of the whispering giants in the cold mountains. She speaks of the gods, mighty yet bound by destiny. And as her tale begins, you find yourself drifting further, carried upon the tide of story. The hall around you grows softer, fading like mist. The fire becomes distant, the skald's voice merging with your own thoughts. And soon, you are floating within the myth itself. No longer a listener, but a traveler inside the story. The land of the Norse opens before you, and the path to Ragnarok begins. The story begins not with fire, and not with battle. It begins in stillness, at the roots of the great ash tree, Yggdrasil. There, beneath the towering branches that stretch across all the worlds, sit the Norns. 3 sisters, older than the gods themselves. They dwell beside the well of Urd, where time flows like water. With patient hands, they carve runes into the bark of Yggdrasil. Runes that tell of what has been, what is, and what must yet come. The Norns do not hurry. Their work is endless, like the turning of seasons. Each rune is a thread of destiny, each symbol a knot in the weaving of all that lives. And among their countless carvings lies one prophecy, whispered in hushed tones. A prophecy of twilight, of the world's end, of Ragnarok. The Norse people knew that even the greatest gods could not escape fate. Odin, Allfather, might ride across the 9 realms on his 8-legged horse, Sleipnir. He might peer into the waters of Mimir's well, giving his eye for wisdom. Yet still he could not change what was woven. The gods, the giants, the humans. All were threads in the same tapestry. And Ragnarok was already stitched into its heart. But fate does not arrive all at once. It arrives in signs, in omens, in whispers carried by the wind. And so the people told of the first great sign, the Fimbul winter, a winter unlike any other. Imagine it now. The soft hush of falling snow, endless and unbroken. But the snow does not melt with spring. It falls for year upon year. The rivers freeze, the seas grow silent beneath thick ice. No birds sing, no crops rise from the soil. The sun hides behind veils of cloud, and the land grows weary beneath endless cold. 3 winters will pass, without summer in between. The people grow hungry. Villages turn upon one another. Families, once bound by love, are divided by desperation. Brother rises against brother. Blood spills on the snow, and the bonds of kinship fray until they snap. This is the first sign. A world out of balance. A world slipping toward twilight. The second sign is darker still. For far across the sky 2 wolves run. Skell, the hunter of the sun, and Hati, the chaser of the moon. Every day, the gods watch as the wolves pursue their prey. The sun flees, glowing gold across the heavens. The moon glides silver, always looking back in fear. The chase never ends, until Ragnarok comes. And on that day, the wolves catch their quarry. Skoll swallows the sun. Hati devours the moon. Light vanishes. Day and night fall into shadow. The world is left in darkness, guided only by stars that seem too far away. Imagine the stillness. No warmth of the sun, no gentle glow of the moon, only endless night. Only silence, broken by the sound of wolves howling victory. But there are other signs. In the oceans deep below, the Midgard serpent, Jormungandr, stirs. Its body encircles the world, tail and mouth, coiled like a ring of scales. And as the end approaches, it writhes and twists. The seas churn, storms rage. The great serpent prepares to rise, spitting venom that poisons sky and land alike. In the mountains of Jotunheim, the giants awaken. Stone shatters as they move. Voices rumble like avalanches as they prepare for battle. And from the dark places of the earth, Loki, the trickster, waits. Bound in chains for his betrayals, he bides his time. But the bonds will not hold forever. On the day of Ragnarok, he too will be free. And last comes fire. For in the south lies Muspelheim, the realm of flame. There the fire giant Surtur holds his sword, a blade of living fire. When the hour strikes, Surtur will march from Muspelheim, his flames swallowing forests, mountains, and seas. The sky itself will burn. These are the prophecies. This is the prelude to Ragnarok. Not one event, but a chorus of omens, each more fearful than the last. A winter without end. The sun and moon devoured, the serpent rising, the giants marching, the fire consuming. And through it all, the Norns continue their weaving, unmoved, unchanging. For what has been woven cannot be unwoven. Even the gods themselves must bow to the runes of fate. But as you listen, do not feel fear. For these are not your battles to fight. These are the dreams of an ancient people, told by firelight to explain the mysteries of life and death. And as the story unfolds, you can rest within its rhythm, safe, calm, distant. The chill of Fimbulwinter cannot touch you. The wolves cannot find you. You are only a traveler, watching from afar. Let your breath slow once more. Inhale. Hold. And gently release. Feel your body sink deeper into rest. The weight of blankets like snow upon the ground, soft and protective. The steady beat of your heart, like footsteps along a quiet winter path. The signs of Ragnarok have been spoken. The omens are clear. And soon, the gods themselves will prepare for what is to come. But for now, you drift further into the story, further into calmness. As the northern night wraps around you, gentle and unbroken, and with each breath, the path to Ragnarok opens wider. The omens have been spoken. The long winter has settled. The wolves chase ever closer. The serpent shifts beneath the sea, and the fire waits beyond the horizon. High above it all, upon his throne in Asgard, sits Odin, the All-Father. Imagine him now, an old god cloaked in deep blue, his one eye shining like a storm-lit sky. His beard flows silver as frost. Ravens sit upon his shoulders, Hugin and Munin, thought and memory, and wolves lie at his feet, their yellow eyes reflecting the fire of the hearth. Odin looks far and wide, his gaze stretching beyond mountains and seas, into realms where mortals cannot tread. He sees the Norns at their work. He sees the runes carved into Yggdrasil's bark. And though he has given much for wisdom, an eye, years of wandering, sacrifice upon the tree, still his heart grows heavy, for the truth is clear, the end draws near. But Odin does not weep, he does not rage. He breathes slowly, steadily, like a man who has always known this hour would come. For fate is not to be denied, it is to be faced. He calls the gods to council. In the golden hall of Gladsheim, the mighty gather. Thor, red-bearded and broad-shouldered, his hammer resting at his side. Freyr, lord of harvest, who knows he must face the fire giant without his sacred sword. Balder, the shining one, absent now, for he has already gone to the realm of Hel, slain by Loki's trickery. And Loki himself, bound in shadows, his venomous thoughts already turning toward betrayal. The gods listen as Odin speaks. His voice is calm, yet filled with the weight of eternity. He tells them of the signs. He tells them of the wolves, the serpent, the giants, the fire. And though each already knows these prophecies, hearing them aloud fills the hall with silence. Thor clenches his hands around Mjolnir, the hammer that has shattered mountains and struck down countless foes. His jaw tightens, but his eyes are steady. He knows his battle is written. He knows the serpent awaits him. And though he feels no fear, he feels sorrow. Not for himself, but for the world he loves. Freyr bows his head, heavy with the knowledge that he will face Surtur without the weapon that might have saved him. His sacrifice long ago, made for love, now returns to claim its price. And still, they do not turn away. None of them. For the gods are bound by duty, by honor, by the runes themselves. They will stand. They will face what must be faced. In the nights that follow, Odin walks alone beneath Yggdrasil. He whispers to the tree as one might whisper to a friend or to a father. He listens to the creak of its branches, to the slow sigh of the wind that moves through its leaves, and he waits for an answer that never comes. For even Yggdrasil cannot change the weave of fate. He looks upward and sees the stars burning cold. Perhaps he wonders if some world beyond them, some realm unknown even to the gods, lies free of this destiny. Or perhaps he knows that all things, great and small, live and end in cycles, like the turning of seasons, like the falling of leaves, like the fading of fire into ash. Thor prepares in his own way. He does not dwell on the end, nor does he waste breath on lament. He lifts Mjolnir again and again, training his arm until each throw splits the sky with thunder. He walks among the people of Midgard, protecting them from giants, from storms, from hunger. Though he knows the end is near, he chooses to give what strength he can. The people see him and feel hope, and though their voices tremble, they whisper, "As long as Thor stands, the world will not fall." But Thor, too, hears the distant roar beneath the ocean. He feels it in the ground when he walks. The serpent stirs, and he knows his final foe waits. In Vanaheim, Freyr tends to the fading fields. He runs his hands through the dry soil, once rich and fertile, now barren beneath the endless winter. He closes his eyes, remembering summer meadows, green and alive beneath the golden sun. He breathes in, slow and deep, as though to carry that memory into his heart. And though his hand feels empty without his sword, he does not regret. For even gods must pay the price of their choices. And Freyr chose love. And far below, in the dark caverns where chains rattle, Loki waits. The trickster god, sly and restless, bound by his own betrayals. Venom drips above him, each drop burning like fire upon his skin. Yet still, he smiles. For Loki knows that chains cannot last forever, and he, too, has a part to play when Ragnarok comes. In all the 9 realms, whispers spread. The elves of Alfheim light their lanterns and sing soft songs as though to ward away the coming dark. The dwarves of Nidavellir forge in silence, their hammers slower than before, their eyes shadowed by dread. In Jotunheim, the giants gather, their voices rumbling like distant thunder. And in Helheim, the dead stir, waiting for their queen's command. The air itself seems heavier, the wind colder, the sky darker. The whole of creation holds its breath, as though the world itself senses what is coming. And yet, in all this, there is a strange peace. For the gods do not fight against fate. They accept it, as one accepts the turning of the seasons. They stand, not because they expect victory, but because to stand, even at the end, is their duty. Their honor, their place in the weave. So rest now as they rest. Breathe slow as Odin breathes. Let your thoughts drift as Thor walks among the clouds. Feel the quiet resolve of the gods, calm and unbroken. The hour has not yet come. The fire has not yet swept across the land. The serpent has not yet risen. But soon, very soon, the storm will break, and Ragnarok will begin. The signs have been seen, the gods have prepared, the giants have stirred, and the fire waits. Now the hour has come. Ragnarok begins. It starts with the breaking of chains. Far below, in a cave of shadow and venom, Loki's bonds snap like threads of spider silk. He rises, laughing softly, a sound like wind through hollow stone. His eyes gleam with fire, and his voice echoes into the 9 realms. The trickster is free. From the depths of the earth, the great wolf Fenrir. Oh! Once bound by the gods, once tricked with chains of impossible craft, now his strength bursts them apart. The ground shakes as he rises, his jaws opening wide, so wide, it is said, that his lower jaw drags upon the earth while his upper jaw scrapes the sky. With every breath, fire spills from his mouth and darkness gathers in his wake. The seas, too, can no longer hold their prisoner. The Midgard serpent thrashes, uncoiling, its scales crashing against waves. It rises higher and higher, its body so vast that it circles the earth entire. Venom pours from its fangs, filling the seas, poisoning the very air. Storms rage as the waters boil, and from the south a new light burns. Not the gentle warmth of the sun, not the silver calm of the moon, but fire, pure, unstoppable fire. Surtur the fire giant marches forth, his flaming sword raised high. With each step, forests ignite, mountains melt, the sky itself glows red with his approach. The Gjallarhorn sounds. Its call rings out from Heimdall, the watchman of the gods, high upon Bifrost, the rainbow bridge. The sound is deep, endless, carrying through all realms. Every ear hears it, every heart knows what it means. The gods rise. The Einherjar, the chosen dead of Valhalla, take up their arms, clad in armor that gleams like starlight. They march beside Odin, ready to stand at his side, though they know their end is written. From all directions the forces gather. Giants from Jotunheim, towering and grim, creatures of shadow, freed from the depths, the dead of Helheim, walking silent beneath their queen's gaze. And from Asgard, the shining host of the gods, bright against the gathering dark. The rainbow bridge shatters beneath the weight of battle. Flames rise, seas crash, thunder rolls. Yet through it all, the story unfolds as it must. Odin rides forth upon Sleipnir, his eight-legged steed swift as lightning. He carries Gungnir, the spear that never misses. At his side fly his ravens, black wings cutting the smoke. And before him, waiting with jaws wide, is Fenrir. The All-Father does not falter. He knows his fate. He knows this is the moment carved into Yggdrasil's bark. He hurls his spear, he raises his shield, and he faces the wolf. But Fenrir's strength is beyond all measure. The jaws close, and Odin falls into shadow. Thor, Thunderer, faces the serpent. Mjolnir flashes in his hand, striking with the sound of storms. The serpent rises high, coiling above him, venom dripping like rivers of poison. They clash, earth shaking, sea roaring. Hammer meets scale, and the serpent writhes, its cry echoing across the world. Thor strikes once, twice, again, and again, and at last, the serpent falls. Its body crashes into the sea, waves surging higher than mountains. But the battle is not without cost. Thor staggers, the serpent's venom already burning in his veins. He takes 9 steps, each heavier than the last. And then he too falls. Freyr meets Surtur upon the field. The fire giant towers above, his sword ablaze that blinds the eye. Freyr raises his hand, unarmed, for his blade was long ago given away. Still, he does not turn aside. He fights with all his strength, the earth trembling beneath their struggle. But fire consumes all, and Surtur's sword cuts through him like dawn through mist. One by one, the gods fall. Heimdall and Loki meet at last, their fates entwined. The Watchman and the Trickster, enemies bound by destiny. They strike together, and together they fall. Silence claims them both, and as the last blow is struck, Surtur raises his sword once more, higher, brighter. The flames roar so fiercely that even the stars themselves seem to vanish. The fire spreads across the 9 realms, swallowing forests, mountains, seas. The sky burns. The earth cracks. All that was, all that is, falls into ash. Silence. The flames fade, their fury spent. The serpent lies still, its coils slack upon the waves. The wolf no longer howling. The hammer is quiet. The spear has fallen. The world is dark. The seas are still. The air is heavy with smoke, but even that begins to drift away. What remains is quiet. Deep, endless quiet. Imagine yourself standing there, upon the edge of what was. The ground soft with ash beneath your feet. The sky dim, though not entirely dark. All sound faded, save for the faint whisper of the wind. There is no fear, no pain, only stillness, like the hush after a storm, like the long, slow breath after tears. A silence that holds not despair, but possibility. For though the world has fallen, it is not truly gone. Even the Norns know that endings are never endings alone. They are also beginnings. The loom of fate does not stop with Ragnarok. It turns again. And so, in the silence after fire, in the stillness after storm, life waits. Hidden, patient, ready to return. Close your eyes deeper now. Let the silence wrap around you like a soft blanket. The battle has passed. The fire has burned out. All is calm. All is safe. And from this quiet, the dawn of renewal will rise. The fire has burned. The sea has risen. The gods have fallen. And for a time, there is only stillness. But endings are never only endings. From silence comes sound. From darkness, light. From ash, life begins again. The first sign is small. So small it might almost be missed. A single green shoot, pushing through the gray ash. Its leaves, delicate, trembling in the breeze, yet strong enough to rise where nothing else remains. Then another. And another. Soon, the earth is scattered with tender green, a promise that the world will not remain barren forever. The sky, once heavy with smoke, begins to clear. Clouds drift apart. The stars fade, not in defeat, but in welcome of something greater. For in the east, a new sun rises. Not the old sun swallowed by the wolf, but her daughter, radiant and bright, born to take her place. Her light is warm, golden, gentle. She shines not with fury but with kindness. Her glow falls upon the new earth, and where it touches, color returns. The waters that once raged now lap quietly against the shore. The mountains, scarred and blackened, begin to breathe with life once more. Forests will grow again. Rivers will sing. And the world, renewed, will open its eyes to morning. But it is not only the land that stirs. From the shadows of the old, new life steps forward. Two figures, human and humble, emerge from the shelter where they had hidden during the long night. Their names are Leif and Lifthrasir, life and the lover of life. They walk hand in hand through the quiet dawn, their footsteps soft upon the earth. From them will come new generations, new voices, new songs, and the world will once again know laughter, sorrow, hope, and love. Above them, the few gods who remain watch in silence. Balder, returned from Hel's realm, walks among the green shoots, his presence radiant with peace. Hother, his brother, stands at his side, the shadow and the light now reconciled. Others, too, will return, a handful spared, to guide and to guard. Together, they will build anew. Though much has been lost, much will be found again. The cycle continues, as it always has, as it always will. The Norse knew that nothing is ever truly destroyed. The tree may lose its leaves in winter, yet spring brings green again. The fire may consume, yet from its ashes, new growth rises. So, too, with the world. As you listen, let yourself feel the warmth of this new dawn. Imagine the golden light resting upon your face. Feel the ground steady and alive beneath you, pulsing softly with renewal. Hear the distant songs of birds, tentative at first, then stronger as courage returns to the sky. The long night is ended. The silence has passed. What lies before you is gentle, calm, endless in possibility. Take a slow breath. Inhale and welcome the new world. Exhale and let the old one go. All that was heavy, all that was weary, has passed into ash. What remains is light. What remains is peace. The dawn has come, and with it, rest. The story has been told. The omens have passed. The gods have fought and fallen. The fire has burned, and the dawn has returned. And now, all is quiet. The new world rises gently, softly, like the breath of a sleeping child. The air is warm. The earth is calm. The light is golden, not harsh, but tender. A light that welcomes, that soothes, and you are safe within it. Each exhale releases the weight of stories, of thoughts, of the day. Feel yourself sinking deeper into stillness. The bed beneath you is soft, steady, like the green earth itself. The blanket above you is warm, protective, like the embrace of dawn. There is no need to move, no need to do, only to rest, only to be. Imagine yourself now, beneath the branches of Yggdrasil, the great world tree. Its leaves whisper gently in the breeze. Its roots stretch deep, carrying strength. Its branches stretch high, carrying dreams. You rest at its base, safe in its shelter. The tree has seen beginnings and endings, storms and calms, and yet it stands eternal, steady, serene. As you rest beneath it, you too are steady. You too are serene. Above, the new sun shines softly, its rays falling across your face like a blessing. Not too bright, only warm enough to comfort, to cradle you in light. Round you, life awakens in gentle sounds. The call of a bird, the rustle of leaves, the trickle of a clear stream nearby. Each sound is distant, soft, like a lullaby sung by the world itself. You are not alone, yet you are utterly at peace. The earth watches over you. The sky watches over you. The tree watches over you. And within this circle of care, you may let go completely. Your body grows heavier with each breath. Heavier, yet more comfortable. Your arms, your legs, your shoulders, all sink into rest. The tension drains away, like snow melting beneath the sun. You are unburdened. You are light. Your mind grows quiet. Thoughts drift like clouds, passing easily, leaving the sky of your mind clear and wide. There is nothing to hold, nothing to chase, nothing to remember. Only this calm moment. The story of Ragnarok is complete. The old has ended. The new has begun. And now, your story too enters its quiet chapter. The chapter of dreams.